Hi YouTube and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, I am going to answer one of the most commonly asked questions I receive: how often should I post on Instagram? And I'm going to dispel some myths that have been circulating in recent weeks. Just before I get into the good stuff, don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell button so you never miss a new video about Instagram marketing when it drops to this channel every single week. So an article came out recently and it caused quite a stir in the online world. And in that article, released by an artist and small business owner called Rachel, who posts on Instagram as Rainy Loon, in this article, Rachel revealed a conversation she had with a representative from Instagram who said to her, "Can we have a conversation? And I will let you know how best to grow your account and increase your engagement. I will give you the advice, the content formats that you should be sharing, and I will tell you how often you should be posting on Instagram to get the best results." And this is what that representative said. So 3 in-feed posts per week, 8 to 10 Instagram stories per week, 4 to 7 reels per week, and 1 to 3 IGTVs a week, which should include lives as well. Now, this caused quite a stir in the online world because that is a lot of content. When you think about how much content that is per week, that's pretty overwhelming. It's unsustainable. It's not something that the normal small business owner or solopreneur, even a small business owner with some extra support, that is just not a sustainable, manageable posting schedule.
Let's go big walk. Up, let's go. Here we go.
For anyone, unless Instagram content creation was your full-time gig, but even then, you need to still do other things. You need to live your life. You need to not be on your phone 24/7, 365 days of the year. It's not manageable. And everybody was freaking out online because a lot of people who were already feeling a bit overwhelmed by Instagram thought, well, if this is really what it takes, then I might as well give up now. And if you are one of those people, or if you just saw that schedule and thought, well, that's it, I'm throwing in the towel, then I want to say, stop right there. Don't end this video. Don't leave this video, because I'm going to talk you through a much more manageable, a much more reasonable posting schedule. So with that in mind, I want you to ask yourself these 2 questions. Number 1, what content do you enjoy making? And number 2, what content resonates with your audience? So question number 1, what content do you enjoy making? This is a really important question to ask yourself because you do not need to be doing everything. If you look at your to-do list for next week or the next couple of weeks and it looks a little something like make 3 Instagram reels, show up on live 3 times, show up on Instagram stories 5 times, make a carousel post, share 3 photos of me, that is a lot. That is too much. But, and this is a big but, what I'm about to say does come with the caveat that you don't want to limit yourself by staying inside of your comfort zone. It is important to lean into your strengths, but it is also important to be willing to try new things. And I'll come on to that in a moment. But first, let me talk about leaning into your strengths. If you enjoy showing up on video and it's where you feel most confident, it's where you communicate best, it's where you really come alive, then lean into that. Make Instagram Reels and IG Lives, make those your 2 primary focuses, or make Instagram Reels your primary focus and then show up on Instagram Live once or twice a week. That is what feels good to you, and so that should be the content formats you focus on. If writing is your strong suit and video isn't where you feel quite so at home, then make text graphics and text carousels, make those your primary focuses. However, as I said a couple of moments ago, just because, for example, video isn't where you feel very comfortable, doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. It is important to be aware of bigger consumer trends that are happening in your space, and particularly in the online world, as that is what you are a part of and that is where you are marketing your business. So to pick video because it is a really good and important example to use, there is no denying that video is the way that a lot of online marketing and advertising is going. And the reason is that seems to be the way that most people prefer to engage with content. They would prefer most people to watch a video over looking at a photo or reading a really long caption. And that doesn't mean you only have to show up on video and forget every other type of content format that you enjoy sharing and that feels good to you. Not at all. But just bear in mind that if you try to avoid certain trends, like the video trend, your peers and your competitors, they will be reaping the benefits of incorporating some or a lot of video into their strategies. They will be getting great engagement, great connections with their community, great feedback, and you won't be getting quite those same benefits. And that might harm your overall objectives and business goals. So really do just bear in mind the broader trends that are happening, just so that you can factor those into your unique marketing strategy. It is a fine line between grasping the opportunity of obvious consumer trends, like the trend for video, and trying every single new feature or platform that is released because it's the new thing and we should all be trying it. Not at all. Just be savvy about what you try and what you don't try. You don't need to be doing everything and be showing up everywhere. In this case, when we're talking about Instagram, I mean, you don't need to be on live, IGTV, Reels, Stories, everything, in an attempt to be the new cool kid on the block or in an attempt to keep your audience engaged and entertained. What will likely happen, in fact, is that you will get burnt out and your audience will get confused about mixed messages and where you are showing up because you are all over the place. So really be focused, really be deliberate about where you show up and make sure that it feels good to you, because if it feels good to you, you are more likely to be consistent with it. The second question I want you to think about is what content is resonating with your audience? While it's important to make content that feels good to you and to share it at a cadence that feels good to you, what is arguably more important is to then recognize what content is actually resonating with your audience. What are they enjoying? What do they want to see more of? So how do you make content that is really impactful? Well, that comes from knowing your community really, really well. Primarily knowing your dream customer really, really well. And the way you do that is firstly by market research. So you should know before you start sharing content regularly, you should have a good idea of who your dream customer is, what their struggles are, what they desire, and also what brands and businesses they already enjoy following online. The reason this is really helpful is because it will give you a good sense of the kind of content that they already enjoy connecting and engaging with. And that obviously isn't for you to copy, but it is just to help you understand whether video is something they love, whether there is a certain tone or messaging that really, really resonates with them. So this kind of information gives you a really good foundation to start creating content that is going to resonate with them. And then it comes down to measuring the content that you're sharing. So you know your dream customer really well, you start creating really valuable content for them, and then you measure that content. You see which of your posts over the month have generated the most forms of active engagement. So which posts have driven the most comments, shares, saves, website clicks, and follows. Start to notice trends. Is there a particular topic you talk about that resonates best with your community? Is there a particular format that performs the best? Double down on what is doing really well. Repurpose ideas. It's not about reinventing the wheel every month. It's about seeing what's working, seeing what ideas, seeing what formats are already performing well, and sharing more of them with a slightly fresh angle or having a new spin on an idea that you shared the previous month. So those are two questions to think about. What content feels good to me, and what are your strengths when it comes to content creation, and what content is resonating with my audience? Those are the two questions that you should be thinking about, not obsessing or worrying over any other advice about how often to showing up every single day. It's not sustainable, and it also just isn't going to get you results in the long term because you are really likely to throw in the towel or burn out. So just stay focused on what you are good at, what your strengths are. Have one eye on the trends that are happening more broadly in the online space so that you don't get left behind. And most important of all, monitor what is working with your community. What are they responding to? If IGTVs are taking you hours of time and your community just aren't responding to them at all, then ditch them. You don't need to create them just because Instagram is telling you to create them. And if you want to know what my suggested 2021 Instagram content calendar looks like, with the posts that I suggest you share and the cadence, how often I suggest you share throughout the month, then check out this video after this one. You don't want to miss that. That's all for this week's video, guys. If you want to learn any more about what your 2021 Instagram strategy should look like, then don't forget I've made an entire playlist where I've been adding my 2021 specific videos too. So go check out that after this. I'll see you next week for a brand new video. Thank you for watching. Bye.